Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to take you along as I cook for our Canadian Thanksgiving dinner, which was just on Monday, October 10th. And the first thing I started making was our cranberry sauce, and it is so easy. I love making homemade cranberry sauce. It's just a pack of fresh cranberries, a cup of orange juice, which is all I had left, which was great, and about a cup of sugar, or a little bit more if you want it sweeter. I don't really measure anymore. I just pour the sugar in there because I'm making this recipe for years now. And then you just let that boil. Make sure you give it a mix to get the sugar all dissolved. And just let it boil. And as it boils, all the cranberries will start popping. And then once they are done popping, you just turn it off and just keep mixing it. And as it cools, it thickens up. And as it cooled, it was still a little bit warm. I just stuck it into a mason jar and just let it cool on the counter for a little bit and put it in the fridge for the night. This is actually like the day before on Sunday when I'm making the cranberry sauce. And next I started making my apple pie. Got to get your water ready with a little bit of lemon juice from when you're cutting your apples so they don't turn brown. Again, I don't measure, I just poured a bunch of lemon juice in there. And I'm using Gala apples because it's just what I had on hand. I wasn't expecting to make a pie. Usually my mother-in-law brings down pies, but when they came this day they didn't bring me a pie, but I knew he was making pies. So I made sure I got a pie crust and that I showed you in the video, and a bunch of apples to make some pie for dessert. And once your apples are all done, I think I used about 6 to 7 apples, I'm not sure. Just drain out all the water. Then you're gonna add your cinnamon and sugar. This was just a mixture I had of cinnamon and white sugar from cinnamon buns we made a few weeks ago. So I just added that in there. And then you need brown sugar for apple pie. Again, I don't measure, I just put a few spoons in there. The more sweeter you want it, the more sugar you add. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more cinnamon because I really like the taste of cinnamon in the apple pie. Usually when I made this, I find that it's not cinnamony enough, so I just made sure I added a little bit extra. And then, of course, you need to add just a little bit of flour, about a spoon, I think. And then give it a mix. I also had some butter that I was just melting in the microwave, so I'm going to add that as well. And I forgot to add some vanilla, so make sure you add vanilla when you're making your apple pie. And now I'm just opening my Pillsbury pie crust. You gotta leave these out at room temperature to get to room temperature for about 15 minutes, or you could put them in the defrost in your microwave for about 10 seconds, and it's usually pretty good. You just take the first one, unroll it into your pan. It's so easy. They're really soft and pliable. They're not dry or cakey or chalky or anything. Like, they're not covered in flour or anything. They're really nice. People even make other recipes using the pie crust. I haven't tried it yet, but they look pretty good. And once you got your filling in, just take the second crust that it comes with and just unroll it on top. Do your edging. I'm not very good at it, so I just kind of like pinch it together. I think maybe my pie dish is a little bit too deep for the one at the bottom to come up, so you can actually make a nice little swirl design on the edges. So I just pinch it to make sure it stays nice and closed. And then just make sure you poke a few holes in it. I like making mine in slices, the way you would cut the pie. I just find it a lot easier if somebody wants to just cut a slice. The outline is already there for them. And then I'm just making a wash to put on top. It's just an egg white, a little bit of water, and some sugar. This wasn't the recipe that I wanted to make. I just wanted to use the egg white and sugar recipe and not the one with the water. So I kind of made a mistake, but I didn't want to waste the egg white, so I just added the sugar to it. Anyways, it doesn't really matter, I guess. It still turned out fine. You just coat it all over. And you're gonna stick it in the oven. I think this box calls for like almost 400. I don't think I had it up that high because I know it burns. I can't remember. And just watch it. I think it took about 45 minutes or maybe around 50 minutes to get the nice golden brown, and it smelled so good. So here I'm just putting not all of it, but some of the apple peels, some cinnamon sticks. I have this little simmer pot. It came with my crock pot. And what else am I putting? Oh, I didn't have cloves. Usually I would put cloves in here. And I forgot to leave out some cranberries, and you're supposed to put some orange peels. But since this already has both of them and some sugar, I thought I might as well just add a few spoons of this, since I know I'm not going to use all that cranberry sauce for dinner. And I had some rosemary, just a little bit. It would have been better if I had some cloves and maybe added a little bit more cinnamon and apples, as the scent wasn't too strong throughout the day. It was very mild. And for this morning, I wanted to make those cinnamon buns. Usually I just slap that thing on the counter and it pops open, but this didn't, so I had to use a spoon as recommended on the packaging. Just the cinnamon rolls. It said you had to keep them 2 inches apart, so I had to switch pans because they were a little bit too close in the round one. So I just took a regular baking sheet and then spread them out. And here I was just making some buns. I can't remember what they were called, but you used mashed potatoes in them. I'm not going to go over the recipe because it was actually not very good. We didn't even end up using them. I just threw them out. And finally, the cinnamon buns were ready after I had got the dough done, and these smelled so good. Everybody was still sleeping except for the little one. I think he had just woken up. And then you just put the icing over it that comes with it and just let it melt on. And there's the dough. It was all ready, and this is where you punch it down. Then you just make your little buns. But like I said, they weren't very good. And here's those little pumpkin cookies that I had showed you in the haul the other day. So we're just going to get those in the oven while it's warming up for the turkey. I think Paige comes and takes over. She really wanted to do these cookies, even though all you have to do is take them and put them on a pan. And then, oh my gosh, sorry about the camera angle. I think she might have knocked it or something. She wanted to peel carrots, or I think I just told her to peel the carrots, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, look. Just like stabbing the carrots. She's just trying to get the ends off. I'm like, okay, just leave it. I'll just cut those ends off. I'm like, what are you doing? You're gonna cut your wrists open. The way she was holding that, going towards her wrist. So I just took over and finished doing them. So there's my butterball turkey in my pan. I was gonna wash up the carrots after cutting off the ends and then stick them in there. I'm also gonna stick some celery, and I think I put onions in there. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see as we go on. And then I'm just gonna put in the oven. I think it took about 4.5 hours to cook. And it was, what was the weight that I saw in the grocery haul? 5 to 7 kilos, something like that. So 4.5 hours, frozen, stuffed turkey. Okay, I also end up having a salad, some corn. I take apart the turkey, I don't leave it together. Mashed potatoes, I took the stuffing out, the cranberry sauce. It was actually pretty good. I don't think I would buy another stuffed butterball because I think you pay for the weight in the stuffing as well. But it was okay. This is Caleb's birthday after dinner. We were singing him happy birthday here. He was getting kind of shy. So funny. And out of all the cakes this guy picks, he picks this cake, a carrot cake. I showed him all the cakes at Walmart, all the birthday cakes, and he picked this one because he wanted the little carrot. And you will see in the next clip him eating his cake and how quickly, with the first bite, he regrets the cake he chose. It's actually pretty funny. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great week.